The judge put off making a decision about your motion. What's your reaction?
Well, he gave them till noon to come. They had no case law. They had no facts that supported. I think our grounds were extremely well taken. I'm glad that Brad was able to come in at the end, and I think for this issue of a conflict, of course, there was none, but it's been clarified that it's been waived if there was one.
What do you think about the filing of that motion at all?
Which one?
The one about EquiSearch.
No, I think it's not following the law. I mean, we set that out. We copied you all with it. It's all over the place now. There's a right and a wrong way of doing things. But the issue is that Tim, has been very compassionate, as I have been, and as to George and Cindy Anthony having, to really know whether anybody disturbed the remains of Kaylee. I think that was fair, and I think what Brad had indicated, and I'm glad it was him. I had the information, but it came from him. That I've been talking to Mr. Conway routinely, and so that they know that nobody's been out there. I've been providing him that information. So, we think that was a compassionate, right thing to do. But to expose 4,000 searchers to having all of their private information all over the world, and since none of them were at the exact spot, it just doesn't seem appropriate.
If you have to turn over those records, you said that you wanted the money up front and from verified sources. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think there was a suggestion that, and we're not saying that anything was done wrong. We're just simply saying this is a non-profit charity who doesn't have the money, the resources, or the time to compile and properly put together 4,000 documents, forgetting the inappropriateness of that. And we want the money up front. And just like any case, you want to make sure that those funds are from appropriate, rightful sources. There's been some suggestions in the media, or there's some questions as to the money, and we just want to make certain that it's all correct. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong whatsoever. Just want to make sure that it's all done right. There's a right and a wrong way of doing things, and we believe that with our motion, we spelled out with great specificity the right way that this is supposed to be done. You just can't wing it. These are important considerations. Ms. Anthony has every right to excellent defense. We're in America. She's entitled to that. Similarly, other people have rights too, and all rights need to be acknowledged, and the rules need to be followed, and they need to be done the right way.
Mark Jose made some kind of, he was talking about ethics violations. What's your reaction to that at the end of that?
I think that Mr. Conway made it real clear that there's any conflict that's been waived. There is no conflict, of course. The issues were speak for themselves, of course. And I'm just not going to get in there. I'm not going to get down in the mud. We're going to do the right thing. I've made it very clear to always try to do the right thing in this case. And I'm not going to go down there. I'm just not going to. Maybe you can get him to interpret it for you. But the fact of the matter is that he suggested that, and for the life of me I can't see where, that at one time, having represented George and Cindy, that there is a conflict in representing Texas EquiSearch. Well, the goal for all was to find this child, whether she was alive or not alive. And so where would the conflict be? And the fact of the matter is that Brad, Mr. Conway, stated on the record very clearly that if there was a conflict, it's waived. So there's no issue.
Do you think there's anything in the file of records and stuff that they want on EquiSearch that would be useful to them in this case at all?
No, that's relevant. But if nobody was there, why is it relevant? Thank you all.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.